Welcome, I am your host Amarae Rosita. The topic of this video is hauntings. I know that it is something most of us experienced or at least think they did. It always has been and I believe still is a very controversial topic. Opinions are divided into three basic groups: the non-believers, the believers and those who are skeptical. Personally, I believe it is a very healthy attitude to approach hauntings as though you are a skeptic, because first and foremost you need to eliminate all the natural causes of the events. But once that is done, it's like Arthur Conan Doyle wrote for his character Sherlock Holmes. Then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Is there irrefutable evidence that ghosts or spirits do exist? Unfortunately, no. There is no irrefutable scientific evidence that ghosts or spirit exists. While there are countless personal experiences, anecdotal reports and even recorded phenomena such as EVP, photographs and such, none of these have been conclusively proven under controlled scientific conditions. Personally, I believe that on a scientific level, the focus is to try to prove spirits don't exist instead of trying to find proof that they do exist. But that's just my personal opinion. That said, many people, including spiritual practitioners, mediums, and even some researchers, believe that the sheer volume of experiences point to something beyond mere coincidence or psychological explanations. Science often struggles to measure or quantify spiritual phenomena because they don't conform to the physical laws and tools currently available. I have chosen 9 different types of hauntings. I know that there are more, but I picked what I believe are the most common ones, the most important ones, and what I believe to be fascinating ones. For the benefit of this video, I will approach it like a believer, and in all honesty, that is exactly what I am, a believer. Now I've got that off my chest, let's begin. Each haunting is separated into 4 sections. The first one is what it is, the second section is the characteristics, the third section is an example, and the last one is on how to deal with such a haunting. The first topic that we're going to discuss is a residual haunting. A residual haunting occurs when a traumatic or emotional event leaves an imprint on the environment, often repeating itself like a recording. The energy of the event or the person involved is not conscious, but the residual energy can replay, causing paranormal phenomena to happen in a loop. These hauntings often involve sounds, smells or visual phenomena, like the apparition of a person or an event that happens repeatedly, often at the same time or day of the year. There's no interaction with the entity and no communication occurs. An example of this is hearing a woman sing every night at midnight, or hear footsteps at the same time every night in the same area of a house, or seeing the same figure walking down a hallway at regular intervals, but no one is around. No one can find the source, and it always happens in exactly the same way at exactly the same time. The do's and don'ts when dealing with a residual haunting. Talking to the spirit won't help because there's no active consciousness present. Basically, you are looking at a recording of something that has already happened, but due to the emotions and energy connected to that event, it has left an imprint that keeps repeating itself in either the same location or at the same time. Most of the time, that imprint is created by negative energy like fear, desperation, or sorrow. What might work is cleansing the space, because sometimes that can lessen the intensity, or you can change the energy and the environment by moving furniture and introducing positive energy. Our next topic is an intelligent haunting. An intelligent haunting is when the spirit of a deceased person or entity interacts with the living. These spirits are aware of their surroundings and can respond to questions or actions from the living. They may try to communicate, give messages, or express emotions, often linked to unfinished business. With an intelligent haunting, the entity might manifest as a voice, an apparition, or even move objects in response to questions or activities. The spirit may try to make its presence known to get the attention of the living, often with the intention of delivering a message or resolving unresolved issues. But there will be clear interaction and there might even be a personal connection, and you will be able to feel a change in the atmosphere, and on occasion that might feel invasive, but in general it's not malevolent. An example can be that a spirit knocks on the walls in response to questions or speaks through EVP recordings, which stands for electronic voice phenomenon. The do's and don'ts when dealing with an intelligent haunting. What in general won't work is ignoring the spirit entirely. If they want attention, they may persist. What will work is if you try to set up communication in a safe and controlled way to understand their purpose. You can ask them to move on with love and guidance, or you can do an energy clearing and boundary setting. That brings us to our next topic, which is poltergeist activity. The word has its roots in the German verb poltern, means to make a loud clattering noise such as crashing or banging. Poltergeist activity is often associated with physical disturbances, such as objects being moved, thrown, or even damaging property. This phenomenon is usually more violent and disruptive compared to other types of hauntings. Poltergeists are often linked to the subconscious energy of a living person, usually a teenager or someone experiencing emotional distress, which can unintentionally create disturbances in the environment. It is believed that this type of activity could involve psychic energy manifesting physically. This means that there will be physical disturbances. That means that things will move around. You will hear loud noises, and also there will most definitely be disruption in the house. The do's and don'ts when dealing with a poltergeist. Traditional spirit removal won't work because this is often energetic rather than an external entity. You will need to identify the source of the activity. Not always, but very often, it involves a female in her early teens. Poltergeist hauntings are chaotic energy disturbances, often fueled by stress, emotional turmoil, or unresolved trauma. Space cleansing and protective barriers are essential tools to disrupt the energy, weaken the poltergeist influence, and restore balance to your environment. The next topic is demonic hauntings. This is by far the most extensive topic of this video, not because it is more important or more interesting than the others, but because it can be one of the most difficult hauntings to deal with. But let's start like we do with all the haunted topics, and that is with what it is. A demonic haunting involves the presence of a malevolent, non-human entity, often described as a demon or dark spirit. Unlike intelligent hauntings, which involve human spirits, demonic entities are typically seen as more powerful and destructive. In a lot of the cases, demonic energy has been invited in by playing with a Ouija board or fooling around with dark magic. But what are the signs that you actually might be dealing with a demonic haunting? Well, first there's a strong sense of fear, oppression or negativity that fills the space. You might feel physically uncomfortable or experience emotional distress, even without an apparent cause. There will be unexplained noises such as growling, hissing or guttural voices. You might see dark, non-human shapes that seem to hover in the darker corners of a room. And there may be physical manifestations. Sometimes there may be scratches, burns or other injuries appearing on the body without any physical explanation for them. I believe that one of the most significant signs you will start to notice is that one or more people in the house, their personality will start to change. There will be mood swings, changing from an easygoing person to someone who gets angry very quickly and all the time. People feeling physically attacked, hearing guttural or threatening voices or growls. They might see shadows or figures that have a non-human shape and feel malevolent. It will all start with small but unsettling experiences, like strange knocks at night, cold spot, and a constant feeling of being watched. But over time, these things can, and most likely, if it's a demonic haunting, will escalate and has the potential to become a very difficult haunting to deal with. I know it is a lot of information, but here it is again in a slightly different format that will give you probably a better overview. With a demonic haunting, there will be really foul smells like sulfur or rotting meat, and you will have no clue where they're coming from. It's very likely that you will see shadowy figures in the darkest corners of the rooms, and also objects can move violently, doors slam shut, and furniture might shake. There will be disturbing whispers or growls to be heard, often calling out names of the people who live in the house. Nightmares and sleep disturbances will increase, and sometimes even with the sensation of being pinned down or attacked. People will wake up with unexplained scratches, bruises, or burns that appear on their body. Emotional changes will occur with family members growing more irritable, fearful, or depressed for no significant reason. And in severe cases, the entity may try to isolate its victim, leading to mental, emotional, and even physical breakdowns. Attempts to remove the entity, such as prayers or blessings, might make activity worse before it gets better. And in extreme cases, an exorcism may be needed to forcefully remove the presence. Demonic hauntings are often different from ghost hauntings because they tend to intentionally target and weaken people and feeding on fear and negative energy. Again, I need to say it's a very, very difficult thing to deal with. The do's and don'ts when dealing with a demonic haunting. What won't work is attempting to communicate. It can invite them in further. Another thing you should most definitely not do is experiment with spiritual tools like a Ouija board or perform summonings. First and foremost, ask for professional help. Demonic hauntings can be extremely difficult to get rid of and can easily escalate due to well-intended but incorrectly executed rituals. That does not mean there's nothing you can do. Here are a few things that you can do yourself. Set clear boundaries and command with authority. When addressing spiritual activity, speak with certainty and authority. Use phrases like, "I command you to leave this space now, you have no power here." Or, "Only beings of love and light may be present." Another one is, "This home is protected, you must go." Lower entities thrive on fear and hesitation, so be firm and unwavering. And one that you should do with every haunting, I believe, is call on your spiritual team. You are never alone. Work with angels and archangels, especially Archangel Michael, for protection. Ask your spirit guides and ancestors, those who work in love and light. Ask divine energy, God, the source, the universe, whatever resonates with you. Ask them for protection and assistance in clearing out what doesn't belong. Strengthen your energy field. A strong aura and well-maintained energy will help shield you from negative interference. You can regularly cleanse your aura and do that by smudging, salt baths, energy healing. Practice Reiki or shielding techniques like visualizing golden or white light around you. And you can use protective crystals like black tourmaline, obsidian, and selenite. Use sacred tools for reinforcement. And with sacred tools, I mean use holy water, blessed oils, or consecrated salt to create energetic barriers. Use symbols related to your belief system, like a cross is a powerful symbol for Christianity. On a personal note, you will find angels throughout my house, on cabinets, bookshelves. I even have a sign next to the front door that says protected by angels, my most valued piece regarding to angels. But you can also perform a sound cleansing. You do that by using bells, chimes, singing bowls to disrupt heavy energy. You can use prayers, mantras, anything that will help to shift the vibration. Make your space spiritually inhospitable to negative energies. And you can do that by keeping a high vibrational energy through gratitude, love, and joy, removing fear on any emotional or spiritual level as much as you can, and by performing regular spiritual cleansings in your house and in your environment, and maintaining a strong connection to your higher self. I realize that it's not always easy because spiritual authority is built over time, but the more you claim and reinforce your spiritual identity, the harder it is for anything unwanted to linger. But sometimes, even when you do everything right, it can happen that it's not enough. And in that case, there's no other solution than to call in a professional for a full space cleansing and maybe even a professional intervention. On a personal note, I just wanted to let you know that the demonic haunting chapter has taken me days to finish. Text did not fit with the graphics, the length of the graphics did not want to synchronize with the sound recordings kept fluctuating in volume, basically nothing about this chapter runs smoothly. I do not know if it was the topic or anything else, but what I do know is that it was not until I followed my own advice and asked my angels to step in that finally everything started to fall into place, literally. But I have no doubt that part 2 will be easy sailing. And now we finally have reached the end of part 1. I really hope you liked it. Keep an eye out on the channel for part 2, in which we will discuss shadow people, spirit attachments, portal or gateway hauntings, time slips, and psychic or energy imprints. So there's a lot more to come. But please leave a like and follow the channel and mention this channel to your friends. Thank you. Bye.